Welcome to Darkened Files, where the shadows speak. We uncover the untold stories behind domestic violence and brutal crimes, exposing the chilling truths hidden in plain sight. Real cases, real voices, no sugarcoating. If you're ready to step inside the darkest corners of reality, you're in the right place.
He's outside walking around with a gun. We have an order of protection against him, and I'm pretty sure he's looking for my daughter because my niece lives in those apartments.
How do you know this person, ma'am?
It's my daughter's husband, estranged husband. He just got out of jail like last week. James Leggett.
Are they seven people?
Yeah, but they have to ask you all this.
What is he wearing right now?
We didn't see him, so I'm not sure what he's wearing. He's outside, and I told my niece not to go back out there.
All right, how did you know that he has a gun?
Yeah, he's 6'6". He's a black guy, brown skin, low cut hair.
Not low, but it's a little bit of hair.
Yeah, he's really tall.
All right, how did you know that he has a gun?
Because they seen him. He's been posting on Facebook, and he's not even supposed to contact my daughter, but he's been sending her crazy messages since 9 o'clock this morning.
So you're not sure that he's outside? Because you haven't seen him, right?
Oh, yes, I'm sure he's outside with a gun.
But did you saw him with a gun?
My niece did. I'm headed over here now, but I'm kind of scared to go.
What's the name of the
apartment? He's seen him outside with the gun.
911, what is the location of your emergency?
He's here. 608 Center Court. As they pull it off, he walks up and he's beating on the door now. And he has a gun. An order of protection. They already verified it.
Has he ever tried to strangle or choke you in the past?
Yeah, I have an order of protection from him beating her up.
Can you just send somebody?
I have to ask these questions for police safety, okay?
And then silence. The kind that hums in your chest. What you just heard was real. A mother's voice breaking through fear. A daughter's final call for help. And a quiet that came too soon. On the other end of that line was 4-year-old Michaela Carter, young, bright, faithful, and doing everything she'd been told would keep her safe. She filed the reports. She got the order of protection. She called for help. But within minutes, she was gone. What happened inside that Antioch apartment wasn't random. It was the final scene of a story that had been playing out for years. A story of control, fear, and red flags no one stopped long enough to see. The man outside that door wasn't a stranger. He was someone she once trusted. Someone she met back in high school. His name was James Leggett, and he'd already been given too many second chances. As the sound of that 911 call fades, picture it. A quiet Tennessee night. One porch light burning. A mother clutching her phone. A daughter whispering for help, trying to stay calm as time runs out. Police had just been there minutes before. They saw the danger. They walked away. This is the story they left behind. The story of a woman who believed the law would protect her. A family who trusted the system. And a man who knew exactly how easy it was to break both. Because Michaela Carter did everything right, but the system didn't. She lived in a house full of noise and still felt alone. By summer 2021, the violence had gone past bearable. In the middle of an argument, Jay grabbed a Jack Daniels bottle and hit her in the face. She ran out barefoot, bleeding and bruised. She went straight to her mother's house for safety. That night, she cried and told more than what the deed's bruises showed. She said she had tried to overdose months earlier. She believed that was the only way out. The truth broke the family. It also lit a new kind of resolve. The next morning, Michaela pressed charges. She filed for a protective order. For a moment, it felt like she was taking her life back. But the system built another wall of paperwork and rules. At her court date, prosecutors told her to identify Jay in open court. She was terrified. She had a panic attack. She couldn't do it. Without her in-person ID, the domestic assault charges were dropped. Her family begged the district attorney's office to see her fear. The answer was procedural. No testimony, no trial. The system treated a victim's terror like failure. It did not see a woman who needed protection. Michaela kept fighting anyway. By August 2021, she won a full order of protection. The court barred Jay from contacting her. The court said he could not own or possess firearms. On paper, she was safe. On paper is not the same as real life. Jay had already shown he didn't follow rules, and the people who should have enforced those rules often did not. Michaela started to rebuild. She leaned on her faith. She went back to work. She made plans for what came next. She smiled at coworkers. She posted hopeful things online, but she kept looking over her shoulder. She knew men like James Leggett don't just walk away. They wait for chances. By fall, that chance came. The 15th of November 2021 dawned like any other day in Nashville. Gray skies, mild air, traffic humming over Antioch Pike. For Michaela, it was another day lived on edge. James Leggett had just been released from jail. He'd violated probation on his domestic assault case. He shouldn't have been free. He certainly shouldn't have had a gun. But that morning, he made both facts plain. On Facebook, he posted strange, dangerous lines. Words that read like threat and confession. He wrote, "Today is the day. Somebody with nothing to lose won't care," among other things. Angry bits, vague apologies, claims of ownership over a woman who didn't want him. Those posts were public. Friends saw them. Family saw them. Michaela saw them. It was the online version of pacing, a storm circling its target. Even with the order of protection, James kept calling and texting. Each message got more desperate. Each message tried to pull her back in. By afternoon, she told her mother she felt something was coming. She could feel his instability the way a hound senses weather. That evening, just before 6 p.m., her feeling came true. Michaela and her mother, Kimberly Jones Bowie, saw James outside a relative's apartment complex. He had a gun and he didn't hide it. Fear hit them like a choke. They did what victims are taught to do. They called 911. You can hear the weariness in their voices. They could not believe. They were explaining this again. Officers arrived within minutes. They questioned a man who fit James's description. In the end, they decided there wasn't enough to arrest him. No probable cause, they said. There were no body cameras rolling. No lethality assessment was done. No victim services were offered. Every policy layer meant to protect a victim was stripped away by indifference. The officers didn't take him into custody. They walked Michaela and her mother back to the house. A trainee officer paced the yard. It was a hollow show. Before they left, one officer told Michaela, "If you see him again, try to take a photo." That wasn't protection. It was prepping them for evidence. Evidence for what was about to happen. Minutes after the police drove off, Michaela started to pack. A green camouflage backpack, a change of clothes, a toothbrush, a folded copy of her protective order. She told her mother she would stay with a friend for the night. She stepped outside and scanned the street. That's when she saw him. James walked toward her, fast and deliberate, a gun in plain view. She turned and ran back inside, shouting, "Mama, he's here! He's here!" Her mother grabbed the phone and tried to follow the officer's advice. Her hands shook. The phone slipped, hit the floor, slipped again. By the time she steadied it, Michaela was already on the line with 911. Michaela's voice was small and shaking. She tried to stay quiet. The dispatcher's questions stretched on. Details, descriptions, cross streets. The seconds closed like a fist. Then, a door cracked. Heavy steps. A shout. Gunfire. "Help me, Lord." Those were her final words on the call. Within 10 minutes of police leaving, the man they hadn't arrested broke in and opened fire. Michaela took multiple shots. Her father, Bowie Shabangu, was hit too as he tried to stop the attack. When officers came back, they found what was only ever one thing, a tragedy that had been foretold. Michaela still breathed, barely. Paramedics rushed her to the hospital. Her wounds were catastrophic. She died inside hours. She was 8 days shy of her 25th birthday. Her father survived. He carried the physical and the other scars. The city learned what had happened, and anger rose fast. Headlines followed.
behind bars tonight after Metro Police say he kicked in a door before shooting his ex-girlfriend and her father. Police arrested him, 27-year-old James Leggett. They say after he emerged from a wooded area near the home in Antioch following the shooting. Officers say that this man shot his ex-girlfriend in both the chest and the leg and her father in the hand and face. Police say the woman, Michaela Carter, is in extremely critical condition tonight.
An internal review later found multiple policy failures that evening. Officers ignored domestic violence protocols. They failed to note crucial risks. They left without securing the scene. The penalties were small: a 2-day suspension for one officer, a formal reprimand for the trainee, no firings, no accountability that matched the life taken. Michaela's mother, Kimberly Jones Bowie, refused to let it end there. She filed a wrongful death lawsuit against Metro Nashville. She said the department's negligence led to her daughter's death. "We were failed tremendously by Metro Nashville Police Department," she said, words that echoed beyond Tennessee. City officials, for the first time, publicly admitted fault. The case became a mirror held up to systemic failure. A woman begged for protection in a system built to check boxes, not save lives. James Leggett was arrested soon after and charged with first-degree murder and attempted murder in the attack on Michaela's father. At Lake Providence Baptist Church, Michaela's funeral filled the sanctuary. White flowers lined the altar. Pictures showed her working at the 1230 Club, smiling and bright. Family spoke through tears. They didn't just mourn her death. They celebrated how she made people feel seen. They remembered how she still believed people could change. Michaela Carter and her cousin Genesia Bell grew up together and were extremely close. Genesia said Michaela and James had been together close to 10 years.
Never knew the extent of it until a year ago when she reached out to me wanting to come live with me because she was trying to get away from him. And even then, she just confided in me about some things, and I just was shocked because I knew he wasn't good for her, but I didn't know he treated her that badly.
Her voice shook when she remembered. The guilt in it was heavy, like she wished she'd seen sooner what Michaela had been hiding. Metro Police said Leggett shot Michaela in the chest and leg. A week later, she died from her injuries. She had a protective order. She had done everything right.
I was just distraught. I mean, I just couldn't believe it. You know, she's my baby cousin. You know, she has so much life to live.
Records from back in July showed the truth about who he was. TBI files listed assault, domestic bodily injury, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. His record stretched, long over 20 charges deep.
How did he manage to get back out of jail? If you go look at this man's record, he has over 20-something charges.
It's the question everybody kept asking. The DA's office said he'd been locked up for a probation violation that summer, released just a week before the shooting. They said the victim didn't want to testify, something that happens often, they claimed. But the system should have known better. We've seen this story before. One protection order after another. One abuser after another, slipping through cracks that aren't even hidden.
We just need to be wiser as a system of how we handle order of protections and how we are going to truly protect the victims, as well as provide some intervention for the individual who is causing this mayhem.
When Michaela's funeral came, people filled the church. Old classmates wore purple ribbons, the color of domestic violence awareness. Coworkers brought candles and stories of her kindness. Her pastor said words that hung in the air long after the service ended. She believed love could heal, but love without safety isn't healing. It's survival. In the months that followed, her name became a movement. Tennessee advocates rallied for her, calling for stronger enforcement of gun laws against abusers. A WPLN and ProPublica investigation uncovered a grim truth. Nearly 40% of domestic violence homicides in Nashville were committed by people already banned from owning guns. Michaela became the face of that number, proof that laws mean nothing without enforcement. While James sat behind bars awaiting trial, justice crawled, hearings postponed, motions delayed. 3 years of silence, the same waiting game that had defined her fight to be free of him. Then came the lawsuit.
The 18-page complaint filed Tuesday names 2 defendants, the director of the Nashville Community Review Board and the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County. The complaint states that the officers' flagrant incompetence quickly and predictably resulted in Miss Carter being murdered.
911, what is the location of your emergency?
He's here. He's here. 608 Center Court.
That voice, trembling, urgent, was Michaela's. It was November 15th, 2021.
Leggett showed up at her parents' Antioch home with a gun. This is Michaela's mother telling dispatch the police just left their home and they need them to come back.
As soon as they pull it off, he walks up and he's beating on the door now. And he has a gun. An order of protection. They already verified it.
Has he ever tried to strangle or choke you in the past?
Yeah, I have an order of protection from him beating her up. Can you just send somebody?
I have to ask these questions for police safety, okay?
It was already too late. He kicked in the door and opened fire. The same police who'd just left were now racing back to the compi, scene they'd failed to secure. Earlier this year, Michaela's mother filed a wrongful death lawsuit against Metro, calling out the negligence that took her daughter's life. The new filing went even further.
Following Miss Carter's death, Metro has not implemented any policy changes to prevent the next domestic violence victim from being murdered. To the contrary, Metro has exclusively used proposed MNPD policy changes as settlement leverage to get her to accept less money. In response to the suit, Metro shared this with News 2. Despite its caption, this lawsuit challenges only a state law. The Department of Law disputes the complaint's characterization of the circumstances underlying Miss Jones Mubayu's separate lawsuit.
But the truth was already public. In February 2024, the Metro Council approved a $250,000 settlement for Michaela's family, the most allowed under Tennessee law. Along with the payout came long overdue reforms. Officers now required to wear body cameras on all domestic calls to offer immediate support and resources to victims at the scene, to issue instant BOLO alerts when an order of protection is violated. Councilwoman Joyce Stiles said it plain. The officer who failed this woman shouldn't be here anymore. The changes mattered, but they came too late for the woman whose death made them necessary. Then came July 4th, 2024. News broke that James Leggett had been found dead inside Riverbend Maximum Security Institution.
The man accused of shooting and killing his ex-wife in 2021 died in prison this month. James Leggett was convicted for the murder of Michaela Carter. Leggett's cause of death has not been released.
The Tennessee Department of Correction opened an investigation. Details stayed scarce. His cause of death still under review. To many, the timing felt bitter Independence Day, marking the only day Michaela's family was truly free of him. But her mother didn't call it justice. Even death denied us the sentence we deserve to hear, she told reporters. As the story closed, one truth stayed standing. Michaela Carter did everything right. She followed every rule that was supposed to save her. She filed the order. She made the calls. She trusted the system. And it failed her anyway. Because a law without enforcement is nothing but a lullaby, soft, soothing, and powerless. Her name now stands for change, not silence. And as the screen fades to black, her story leaves one final echo. If love demands fear, it's not love. It's a warning.